qualification. That's what it's all about. Whether you serve Yahweh or not. Exodus 20. Going to read one verse. Verse 5. Exodus 20. And let's read verse 5, please.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them.
That's right.
For I, Yahweh thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim,
Yes.
visiting the iniquity of the Abbas upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of
That's
them
right.
that hate me.
Now,
That's
generations that
That's right.
know not Yahweh really hate Yahweh. And he's saying he visits the iniquity of those generations upon the children. So we see he made an exception in the children of Israel in the wilderness. He said because they had no knowledge between good and evil under the age of 20. But here he's breaking it down and telling the people that he's a jealous Elohim. And that if you are part of a generation that does not know him and you stay that way, he's going to visit the iniquity on you and on your children unto the third and fourth generation. Because he considers that hating him. Go to Exodus 34. Exodus 34, I'm going to read one verse, verse 7. Exodus 34, and this is just reiterating what he said in the 20th chapter. Exodus 34 and verse 7 reads,
Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the Abbas upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the third to the fourth generation.
So, whatever generational behavior, whatever generational sins we hang on to, Yahweh said those will be planted on down to the third and fourth generation. But there is a seed or mercy and forgiveness of transgression and sin. And he said, it's up to us to choose.
That's right. You got to repent and return to Yahweh.
So a generation is about 40 years.
Okay.
So let's go to Judges, the 2nd chapter. After the generation that came out of slavery in Mizraim died, another generation grew up that knew Yahweh. And they went in and they possessed the land of Canaan. We just looked at that, where Yahweh was talking to the parents, to that generation, and saying, surely you shall not go into the land. And then, further down, he talked and said to them that your children, the ones that you said were going to die in the wilderness, they're going to go in and they shall possess the land because they didn't have the knowledge between good and evil.
Okay.
So that generation that came out of slavery, they died, the ones that weren't right. Then another generation, they knew Yahweh and they went in and they possessed the land of Canaan.
Yahweh.
All right, Judges 2, and we're going to start at verse 6. Judges 2, and let's read verse 6, please.
And when Yahshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land.
So here we're seeing, after the children went in to possess the land that Yahweh had told the parents, surely your children will go in. So they went, they fought, and Yahweh caused them to win.
Praise Yahweh.
And then here now we're seeing the end of it. It says, when Yahshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man into his inheritance. So they won the battles, and they're going now to possess the land and live in the land that Yahweh said he had given them.
Right.
That their fathers, the generation that refused to know him, refused to believe Yahweh and wouldn't go in and possess it. Verse 7.
And the people served Yahweh all the days of Yahshua and all the days of the elders that outlive Yahshua, who has seen all the great works of Yahweh and that he did for Israel.
So here's a generation we're looking at, the new Yahweh. And they served Yahweh's. When generations know Yahweh, they serve Yahweh.
Praise our Yahweh. That's
Said
right.
the
Praise
people
up.
serve
Praise
Yahweh,
up.
all Hayam of Yahshua. So if somebody tells you they know Yahweh and they don't serve him, they're lying. That is not
That's
true.
straight lying.
It goes together. If you know him, you serve him.
That's right.
And it says they served him all the days of Yahshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Yahshua, who had seen all the great works of Yahweh that he did for Israel. All right, verse 8.
And Yahshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died being 110 years old.
All right, so Yahshua died at 110, verse 9.
And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hill Gaish.
All right, so now Yahweh's going to record this second generation. Now we already read in verse 7 where Yahshua, he passed, and then it says the elders that outlive Yahshua, they also passed, and all these people were a generation that served Yahweh. All right, Yahweh records a second generation after that knew him and died. Now we're going to read about he records a third generation after that did not know him. Let's keep reading on verse 10, please.
And also all that generation were gathered unto their Abbas. And there arose another generation after them, which knew not Yahweh, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel.
Okay.
What did they do? Verse 11.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh and served Baal.
This is what generations that don't know Yahweh do.
Yeah.
They do evil in the sight of Yahweh, and they serve false Elohims. Everything is first place but Yahweh.
Okay.
All right, verse 12.
And they forsook Yahweh Elohim of their Abbas, which brought them out of the land of Mizraim, and followed other Elohims, of the Elohims of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahweh to anger.
So you see they're looking all around to see what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And then they just go and do what they're doing.
Just like today.
It says they forsook Yahweh Elohim
Yeah.
of their Abba. They came from generations that served Yahweh, but there came a split where this generation chose not to serve Yahweh.
That's right. They chose not to.
They forsook Yahweh Elohim of their Abba, which brought them out of the land of Mizraim, and followed other Elohims. If Yahweh's not first place, something else is going to be an Elohim.
Something.
Of the Elohims of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and they provoked Yahweh to anger.
Yeah.
Verse 13.
And they forsook Yahweh and served Baal and Ashtaroth.
They serve false Elohims. Let's go to Galatians, the 4th chapter. So Yahweh is supposed to be the center of human lives.
Yeah,
He's
that's
supposed
right.
to be in first place.
That's right. Teach it that like it is for the hams can know.
Generations that do not know Yahweh do not serve him or have him as the center of their lives.
They don't.
They don't. Galatians 4, going to read one verse. Verse 8. Galatians 4 and verse 8 reads,
Howbeit then, when ye knew not Elohim, ye did service unto them which by nature are no Elohims.
Yahweh is lying or telling the truth. Well, Yahweh is telling the truth.
Yes,
he doesn't lie. He cannot lie. We just saw over in Judges, generations that don't know Yahweh, what do? They serve other Elohims.
Yeah.
And now here he's saying in Galatians, howbeit when ye knew not Elohim, if we came from generations that didn't know Yahweh, then we didn't know it.
Right.
And we did service just as they did unto them which by nature are no Elohim.
Right.
Let's go back to Exodus, the 20th chapter. So we have to understand that generations that don't know Yahweh they don't put in first place.
No, they don't.
So of course they won't direct and teach their children to put Yahweh first place. They have a whole lot of other things in first place. And matter of fact, it's sad to say Yahweh is not even on their minds. Or they got something that they've propped up and cooked up and made and say that it's an Elohim, but it's not the true living Elohim. Exodus 20. And we're going to read 3 verses. Verses 1 to 3. Exodus 20. Let's read verse 1, please.
And Elohim spake all these words, saying,
2.
I am Yahweh thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage.
3.
Thou shalt have no other Elohims before me.
Nothing in front of him. Nothing. He's supposed to be number 1.
Yeah, that's it.
Generations that don't know him don't have him as number 1.
No, they don't.
Let's
Just look around you.
Go to Proverbs 22. So generations that don't know Yahweh have him in limited areas of their life, if they have him in there at all.
Right.
They believe that this is normal and it's acceptable because he has no effect on the real world, the real life that they're living. Hasatan has him deceived and convinced that Yahweh is just something that you kind of do if you feel like doing it, or however the generations that don't know Yahweh have relegated him to this little small space. This is how they look at him. And so they become what Yahweh calls froward. Proverbs 22. They've relegated him to a certain little area.
Teach it like it is, so they have to know.
They haven't in their life at all. Proverbs 22.
Teach it.
One verse. Verse 5 reads.
Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them.
That's right.
The froward are the generations of people that don't know Yahweh.
Okay.